All right, and these comments are for M, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, and you did integrated writing practice test number 11. So, this is what you wrote here, and this will be the edited version. I may make some changes to your writing. So what my goal is, I'm going to show you what you have to do in order to get a perfect score on this writing. That means 5.5 out of 5, 30 points out of 30. All right, so you say the author in the reading passage claims that socialism promotes justice, equality, and relativism, but the speaker in the lecture refutes each of the aforementioned points. Perfect. There's no changes that I need to make here. You say first, in the reading passage, the author claims that socialism promotes justice by taking these families, I'm going to put apostrophe here, responsibility as a government's, maybe responsibility. If you say A, don't need this. So the family's responsibilities as government's responsibilities. As an illustration, in socialism, it is the state's task to make sure that families receive adequate amounts of food. Perfect. You have, in contrast, the speaker in the lecture claims that socialism fights the right of freedom of choice. And this is where we're running into some trouble. So the lecture looks like. This is what you didn't say. It's saying that socialism, in its search for justice, it actually creates injustice by destroying liberty. And you didn't really say that, so that is a problem. We'll say actually creates injustice because it the freedoms for individuals to choose how they want to govern their own lives. That's what I would say, something like that. And then I think it's a little bit better, because if you look here, it destroys liberty, including the freedom to decide all matters that lie within our own competence, within our own laws, our own justice and charity. So if you say here, it claims that socialism creates injustice because it eliminates the freedoms for individuals to choose how they want to govern their own lives. That's what I would say there. All right, let's keep going. So next paragraph, see, the author states that socialism makes sure that citizens have equal rights. For example, citizens should earn equal amounts of income. So I think you're getting it. The reading is okay. So they should earn equal rights of income. Then you might say something like this. If you go to the reading passage, it talks about how they tax the rich and then give that money to the poor. I want to say to ensure imposes taxes on the rich and gives that money to the needy. I think that's good enough there. That's probably all we need to say there. On the other hand, the speaker disagrees with the author's claim by saying this is what you're not getting here. It says it promotes equality in the most radical sense. That's a key idea. So speaker disagrees with the author's claim by saying that it is an equality to show the successful people companies. I would say to, instead of show, maybe portray maybe works better. To portray the successful people companies as exploiters of the society's money represents maybe extreme equality because it forces companies to pay fixed rather than hourly wages for employees. So it looks like for you, you're having some trouble when it gets into the lecture. That's where you're having trouble. So I don't know if it's a problem with listening, if it's a problem with note-taking, but you need to make sure that you're getting a complete understanding of not just the reading passage, but also of the lecture. You want to make sure you understand both of these ideas. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's take a look at it one more time. The author in the reading passage claims that socialism promotes justice, equality, and relativism, but the speaker in the lecture refutes each of the aforementioned points. First, in the reading passage, the author claims that socialism promotes justice by taking the family's responsibilities as government's responsibilities. As an illustration, in socialism, it is the state's task to make sure that families receive adequate amounts of food, and I think it also says money. In contrast, the speaker in the lecture claims that socialism actually creates injustice because it eliminates the freedoms for individuals to choose how they want to govern their own lives. Now, that's something you did not say there. That was something you left out that was important. Okay, next one. Second, the author states that socialism makes sure that citizens have equal rights. For example, citizens should earn equal amounts of income to ensure there are no wage gaps between the rich and the poor. Socialism, the author argues, imposes taxes on the rich and gives that money to the needy. On the other hand, the speaker disagrees with the author's claim by saying that it isn't equality to portray the successful people or companies as exploiters of the society's money. Therefore, the speaker believes that socialism represents extreme equality because it forces companies to pay fixed rather than hourly wages for their employees. Finally, the writer in the reading passage contends that socialism promotes relativism by which the societal members should follow the ever-changing, this was important, you didn't put that in there, the ever-changing socialistic moral and social behaviors. Toward this aim, socialism does not limit marriage as being between a man and a woman. The speaker, however, believes that these relativistic philosophies will negatively affect religions and families, and it is the people's choice to decide what morals they perform and what religion they follow. And I'm going to put one more thing in. The speaker does say this. So you should put that in there. It's the people's choice to choose what morals they perform, what religions they follow. All right. This is a car I think I'm going to get right here, by the way. Probably going to buy it on Friday, maybe. All right, let's go over to here. So on this one, I think here you left out at least one major key point in the lecture. That. You did do that, right? So you had some incomplete ideas in terms of how the information in the lecture related to the information in the reading passage. So that was really your big issue right there. But overall, you have a pretty good writing style. You know how to more or less combine the information, but you didn't have a completely accurate response. So I'm going to put you here at 3.25 out of 5, or 21 points out of 30 on this one. Now, for the purposes of our class, a 325 is going to put you at 79% on this particular writing practice test. All right, so the main thing for you, if you take the TOEFL exam, just be really careful on the listening part. That seems to be where you're having most of your trouble. You want to make sure you understand exactly what the most important points are from the lecture, and then you have to show how that information differs from the information in the reading passage.